There are some used cars that make a lot of sense. A Honda City, a Toyota Corolla, a Honda Accord, maybe even a Civic. And then there's this, the Skoda Laura 2.0 TDI, a car that doesn't sound as reliable on paper and makes no sense to buy at all until you drive it. Because for the price of a 400cc bike, you get 138 bhp, 320 Newton meters, a proper European chassis and highway manners that feel expensive even today. This is the car that made people fall in love with diesel performance long before fast diesels became fashionable. But there's a reason cleaner examples are becoming harder and harder to find. The Laura is brilliant when you have taken care of it, but ignore maintenance and it can become a very expensive headache, which has happened with most cars and most people today. But if you're someone who wants to buy a Laura, and I'm one of those who would recommend it, then watch this video till the end to make sure you buy a clean used example and not a lemon. Let's start with the one thing that scares most people away from old Skodas, the DQ250 DSG gearbox. Now before the comment section explodes that this is the wet clutch unit not the dry clutch unit, this is the DQ250 not the DQ200, yes, that's correct. This is significantly stronger and it can handle plenty of abuse when maintained properly. But maintained properly are really important words. During a test drive, check for jerky shifts, hesitation while accelerating, and any problems when you're selecting either drive or reverse. Your car should go into neutral, drive, manual and sport modes normally, and if the DSG oil has not been changed at 60,000 kilometers, then you need to get it done. Also make sure you check the gearbox. If it's not been done at 60,000, if it's driven for 1 lakh and your gearbox has taken the harm, make sure you get it checked so that you don't buy a car with a bad gearbox. While you're checking the transmission, also pay attention to the flywheel. If there's one thing that you have to remember from this video, make sure it is this. Excessive noises at startup, a klang sound while you're starting the car means you have a worn dual mass flywheel. Make sure you get that checked. This is the famous or the infamous 2-liter TDI engine, the one involved in the Dieselgate scandal. The engine itself is actually very robust. The problem is the things around it. One of the first things you should inspect is the wiring harness. Now in India, the temperature gets very hot and so does the engine bay temperature. Over the years, the insulation of the wire tends to get bad and it becomes brittle. Some owners have even reported that after they have touched the wires, they become like powder, literally crumple like powder. A lot of cars already have wiring loom repairs carried out. If your car has done it, then well and good. If not, then make sure you can get that done. Unlike some modern engines that use timing chains, the Laura relies on a timing belt, and Skoda recommends you replace it around the 1 lakh kilometer mark. This car has done 1.42 lakh kilometers and the timing belt on this car has been replaced. If the timing belt snaps, you're not pulling over and calling a tow truck before continuing your journey. You're looking at serious engine damage. Pistons meet valves, things bend, things break, and suddenly you're discussing engine rebuilds instead of weekend road trips. A proper timing belt includes the entire timing kit: tensioner, pulley, idler and roller. If you think that the job has not been done already, then factor an extra 25,000 rupees into your purchase cost immediately. The next thing you should check is the water pump. This is known to be bad in this car. The water pump on this car is placed near the timing kit. The water pump's job is to supply coolant throughout the engine and the cooling system, and if it fails, the engine starts to overheat. Check for signs of overheating, coolant leaks, or whether the previous owner has changed it as preventive maintenance. Now let's talk about carbon deposits. The intake system and EGR valve tend to collect soot over time, and how bad it gets depends almost entirely on how the previous owner has used the car. A Laura that has spent its life cruising highways will generally be cleaner than one that spent years crawling through city traffic. Cleaning the intake and the EGR costs around 10,000 rupees. It's not really a defect on the Laura, just part of owning a diesel car. The best way to keep things clean is to take your diesel car for a spirited drive every now and then. Another problem that the Laura suffers from is steering rack issues. Move the steering left to right. If you hear any kind of rattling sounds or knocking sounds, that means the steering rack is worn. In this car, the steering rack seems perfectly fine. Repairing a steering rack can cost 10,000 rupees and buying a brand new one can cost up to 65,000 rupees. The next thing you should check is the ECM or the engine control module. The ECM of this car is placed under the cowl panel and these are the wires for it. ECM is basically the brain of your car. It handles all functions. There have been a lot of cases in which the Laura's ECM has suddenly gone to sleep. It's known as ECM sudden death, and if that happens, if repair is possible, then it costs around 15 to 20,000 rupees, but mostly repairs are not possible and and you can't even source a brand new one. What you can do is source a used one which costs around 35 to 40,000 rupees. Another common problem with all German cars and this Laura too is the wheel speed sensor or the ABS sensor. Now, a lot of times this is a very common issue and it goes faulty. The easiest way to do is replace it. It costs 1500 rupees each. Now, the Laura's cabin has aged remarkably well. You get wood trim over here, two-tone upholstery, beige at the bottom and black at top. You don't get to see these kind of interiors anymore. Very premium, very European. But there's one problem over here. Because this car was built to European standards, the plastics in the car seem to be a little fragile. For example, this sunglass holder in the Laura tends to go bad very easily. Most cars and most owners have reported this sunglass holder being going bad. The same applies to door rubber beading and seals. Many original parts are now difficult to source, so check their condition carefully. Wind noise, water leaks and rattles can often be traced back to deteriorated rubber components. The next thing to check is the suspension. Now, it's not that the Laura is common for suspension problems, but that is the problem for all Indian cars. We have very bad roads, uneven patches, broken roads, and because of that, the suspension tends to go bad. Just check the car, drive the car over speed breakers, undulation, broken patches. If you can hear any rattles, any noises, then that's a problem. If not, if it's very soft, then that means your suspension is in top-notch quality. And if it's in top-notch quality right now, that means the owner has already replaced it because it's been quite some time. If it hasn't been replaced, a replacement suspension would cost around 60 to 80,000 rupees. Now here's the good news. Owning a Laura isn't necessarily expensive, but neglecting one is. A routine service includes roughly 6.5 liters of engine oil, air filter, cabin filter, oil filter and diesel filter. Budget somewhere around 12 to 15 grand for these services. And if you found a well-maintained and properly documented car with a good service history, then that's money well spent. Did you know that the Laura is not actually a real car? Yes. The Laura is actually a Mark II Octavia. In India, Skoda wanted to sell the Mark I Octavia and Mark II Octavia together. That's why they call the Mark I Octavia and the Mark II version the Laura. Now let's talk prices. The pre-facelift Laura got a 1.9 TDI engine. This one gets a 2-liter TDI and there's also 1.8 TSI engine option. Prices vary from 2 lakh to 5 lakh rupees depending on the condition, the variant, the mileage and how well or not it's used. The Laura also got a VRS kit version, but finding one in the used market is next to impossible. It was all just cosmetic changes, but it made the car look very good. If you do end up finding a Laura VRS in the used market, prices vary depending on how sane the owner's thinking is or not. Sometimes owners ask for ridiculous prices. A good Laura VRS should cost around 6 lakh rupees. This Laura is a standard diesel car, but it does have the VRS kit on and that makes the car look so good. So should you buy a Skoda Laura 2-liter TDI? Absolutely. There's rarely anything at this price that would give you this much driving pleasure. But make sure you buy the best one that you can afford and not the cheapest one that you can find. Because a bad Laura will make you think German engineering is a conspiracy. And a good Laura will make you realize why enthusiasts like us talk about these cars with so much affection.